Hello, everybody. Welcome to day 5 of our trip, and welcome to Build Fly Go. If you've just joined us, we are flying an RV9 airplane from Madison, Wisconsin to Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, and back. And we are currently in San Juan, and this day is San Juan to Antigua for fuel at the VC Bird Airport, and then continuing to Grenada, which is Grenada, sorry, I'll get that right one of these days, which is our overnight stop. We'll be spending 2 nights in Grenada. So we're leaving the Million Air FBO. A bit of confusion on hangar price, but we got that sorted out. We added a little bit extra fuel. Unfortunately, we found a big fuel stain from overflow from the previous night's fill up. So I think our plan is to stop at Evoque Aviation on the way home, and Jonathan is going to take care of that stain for us. So kudos to Evoque as usual, keeping the stress out of my life. So for this, it's U.S. airspace, so you file EAPIS, and we're going into the Eastern Caribbean. So the Eastern Caribbean has their own EAPIS website. It's CARICOM EAPIS. It was fairly easy to use. The website is not as modern as we're used to, but it works, right? Like you just fill out the thing, and it gives you a okay, and you just print the screen so that you have it. We file IFR because we're crossing the ADIS, and personally I find filing IFR to be easier than dealing with a VFR flight plan and activating it and blah 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 and all that kind of stuff. But this is U.S. airspace, as I said, so this is just like home. Nothing special there. Flying over a few islands. I believe this first segment to Antigua is about an hour and a half. Some clouds, as we've been seeing, sort of broken and scattered clouds throughout this trip. Below, I want to say they've always been around 6,000-ish, around there. And we've been flying high because, we're sort of new to overwater flying, and we figured to fly as high as as is reasonable to give yourself as much gliding range as possible. No big deal, but it's been working. It's been working pretty well. Some of you guys may have heard we posted on Instagram a quick short. We've been posting short videos on Instagram, so if you aren't following us on Instagram, go to instagram.com/buildflygo. We had landed in Antigua and at VC Bird Airport in Antigua, their big international airport, very nice facility, and couldn't figure out fuel. We landed, we asked the tower to send the fuel truck, got out of the airplane, and nothing for 20 minutes. We wave down people as they go by, tugging, American Airlines truck and whatever, like getting luggage, and nobody really knows what's going on. They're not used to having a general aviation aircraft on the ramp right there. But maybe 20 minutes later, the fuel truck did show up. It came in from, I believe there's an FBO way on the other side of the field. We haven't been using FBOs. You've probably heard me mention this. It seems that a lot of the Caribbean FBOs and other FBOs outside the US, if you think FBOs in the US are expensive, you're in for a bit of a shock. I think the lowest we have been quoted to use some of these FBOs have been like $200 plus just for a quick turn, just for fuel, not even including the fuel, just for them to, shake our hand and let us use their air conditioning for 5 minutes. So we have not been using FBOs when they are they're that expensive, which means we generally park on the ramp, at the airport ramp regular, and tell the ground control that we're self-handling, which means, we bump into situations like this, right, where they don't quite know what to do with us. So here we are landing in Antigua. And you'll see that we sort of taxi to, there's like 2 airplanes there, there's a twin, and then there's a couple of like small regional, larger turboprop twins. So we're just like cleaning up the airplane and getting everything ready, and eventually we get some fuel. This fuel was $9.88 a gallon, which is quite possibly going to be one of the most expensive fill-ups that we've had on the entire trip. We'll see what it looks like in Brazil. We're expecting Brazil is going to be roughly the same. This was pretty bad. So we had to go inside. We wanted to go inside. We wanted some air conditioning. It's hot. And we needed to book the hotel for tonight. We hadn't figured out hotels in Grenada yet. So we got that sorted out, got a little bit of food. It's interesting, you go through the normal passenger immigration here because we're not at an FBO and we're just at the terminal. So you walk basically right next to the American Airlines 737s and the Liat A319s and et cetera, right next to them. And then you just walk in the door. That's immigration, little door. There's a new terminal building here, so don't go in the first terminal. It's the second terminal. And you're basically with the big airliner immigration and go through customs with with everybody else. Fill out your paperwork, and you should be all good. So then we had to go to the other office, to the airport office. There was a $26 landing fee, and then back normal through regular passenger security and immigration. And then you walk up to the end gate, and you get escorted to the ramp, which is pretty cool. So all of these American Airlines passengers, heading home to Miami are just like, who are these people, and why are they just like going through the gate and then going downstairs and then walking away? We're not wearing. It was joked that I should wear a pilot hat for whenever I'm going through immigration and that kind of stuff, but I'm not. I'm just wearing a t-shirt. Anyway, so we departed VC Bird International Airport in Antigua, and we are heading south towards Grenada. Flying over Martinique, talk to the Martinique controller. Martinique and St. Lucia are French islands, so they have a bit of a French accent, and a lot of the other aircraft in the area are talking French to the controller. I briefly considered attempting that, and then I thought no one would appreciate it. So I just stuck to English, and we kept going. So pretty easy flying here. We're following if you take a look at a map, we're just following Antigua all the way down over Martinique, and then St. Lucia, and then down to Grenada. Just over the islands the entire time. We could have gone direct. It was, I think, 3 minutes longer to go directly over the islands the entire time, and that made it so that we were pretty much the entire time within gliding distance of land, which we figured was worth the couple of minutes extra. And, you get to see the pretty views and the nice islands. This was pretty easy. I filed VFR for this one. Garmin Pilot allowed a VFR filing. Leaving Antigua, they just gave us a spot code, a transponder code, and just passed this on, just like in U.S. airspace. One controller passes you to the next just before their airspace ends. It's exactly as you'd expect it. Very easy. Here we are. That's Grenada on your left, right there. Beautiful, beautiful island. Very hilly, mountainous. Easy, as usual, easy approach. They asked if we wanted to, not on this one, in Antigua, they asked us if we wanted to do the RNAV, and I was like, nope, we'll do this visual. So this is a left base for runway, I believe it's runway 7 here. You can check the chart, there's some homework for you. And we'll be turning final momentarily. There we go. And you can see the runway is right at sort of the western tip of the island. Nice long runway, a bunch of airliners there, and so we get 2 nights here, and then we're on to Guyana and Boa Vista in Brazil, where we spend a night. More videos to come there. Don't forget to check us out on Instagram as well. Lots of content over there. But otherwise, you guys have a great night, and we'll talk to you from Boa Vista.